All right, so the first thing we've got to get going here is to set up our hosting account. And what I'm going to just tell you here is in the videos, you're going to see me using HostGator. Okay, you don't got to go with them. You'll see a link below the videos here where you can get a hosting account. If you've already got hosting, fine. But here's going to be your requirements. Okay, you need a hosting provider that uses cPanel. You need a hosting provider that allows for cron jobs, because that's something we'll explain later, but that's something that we need to automate some things. And you need a hosting account that's going to give you a dedicated IP. Okay, so let's click on View Web Hosting Plans here, and I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about. Over here on the right there, Business Plan, Unlimited Domains. You want that because, now that does not mean that you get, as many domains as you want to. You just get them. No. You have to pay for the domain name that you register. Okay, but what this means is that you can host an unlimited amount of those domains on your one account. That's what unlimited domains means. Unlimited disk space. That's another good feature. You'll notice over here on the left, the hatchling plan, single domain. You just get one domain. You want to have many because once you see how automated this process is, you're going to find out quickly that you can actually generate multiple streams of revenue by having different things set up. Okay? So you get one blog set up for one niche. Maybe you get another one set up for another one. You get that running, it's automated. You get another one set up for something else. Okay? So that's the way that works. Unlimited disk space means that you don't have to worry about, taking up a lot of space because they'll just let you put what you need there. Now, they will have, all hosting companies have, kind of a clause on this kind of stuff. When they say unlimited disk space, they don't really mean unlimited. If you go crazy and start putting 4 gig video files on there, they're going to say, no, you're not allowed to do that. Unlimited bandwidth. The bandwidth is the transfer from your site. Actually, it used to be very competitive with that kind of stuff. Like you would get a certain amount of bandwidth, and if you went over that in a month's time, you had to pay extra. So what you're getting with this plan is an unlimited amount of bandwidth. Free private SSL and IP. Now that's a feature that we're looking for. You need that SSL if you're going to be doing credit card transactions on your website. But you also need this IP. This is a dedicated IP that you'll get for our software, which is very, very, very important, okay, for it to work properly. What that IP thing is, let me just explain it to you. Hosting companies will, you set up a domain, and they've got a lot of different domains on these computers. They've got tons of computers and lots of different websites being hosted on them. So what they'll have is one computer might have one IP, and it might have 100 different accounts on it. They've all got the same IP. So whenever somebody tries to go to one of those websites, the computer actually looks up which website it is that's on that IP and makes sure that it shows the right site. Well, they could, at their discretion, change the IP, because they might just reboot the computer and it gets assigned something dynamic, and bam, the IP changes without you even knowing anything about it. It's okay from an end user standpoint because it all points back to where it's supposed to and the website comes up. But when you start getting into tricky things like processing payments and other special stuff that has to be done for account verification and stuff like that, it gets a little tricky, and it's much easier if you've got that dedicated IP, because what that means is this is my IP, my address, and it doesn't change. It's always yours. And an IP, just for those of you that may not know, is a number. It's a special number that points just to your website. You see these things? I'm going to give you a little bit of internet schooling here. You see this URL here, www.hostgator.com. The reason we use HostGator is because that's easier for people to memorize. It's, numbers. We don't deal well with numbers. But there actually is, let me show you here. I'll show you a cool little trick. Ping HostGator.com. See that right there? 74.53.87.195. That is the IP address of HostGator.com. Okay, and we don't want to have to memorize that nasty number, right? So we do the domain name. But whenever we type HostGator.com, the computer actually goes out and finds out what the address is, and that's where it takes us. That's how it finds the website. Okay, just a little bit of internet education there for you. Throw that in for free. Okay, so we want this, a plan that's like this. Again, you don't have to go to HostGator. You can go with whatever you want, but it's got to have cPanel. It's got to have cron jobs. You want unlimited domains, and you want that dedicated IP, and preferably you want that SSL as well. Okay, so we just go ahead and click on that and order it. I'm not going to walk you through the order process because I've already got an account there, and I assume that you are intelligent enough to go through the order process. So that is that. What we'll do in the next video is log into my account, and I'll install WordPress and show you how to do it.